Hi guys, I hope you all are well today. I'm here to do a fun summery type nail. A lot of weddings go on in June, so people have weddings coming up. If you don't want to do something really elaborate, you're in a crunch for time, this is a fast, cool twist on the French manicure that looks really pretty and cute and elegant, and I really like this look. So I'm going to share it with you guys today. I have a nail that I've attached to Henrietta to make it fairly long. It's quite long, and I've also given it a little bit of a pointed shape. Let me see if I can show you guys. Let me turn my light off. Okay, so it's a little bit of a pointed shape there. And I'm going to show you how it looks on this really long nail because I really like the way it looks on long nails. So what I'm doing is I'm using Diva DC products. I love their products. So I'm actually going to use their Cover Pink to make my smile line and my nail bed. And I want to bring that right down to the tip of the nail and work it up in a really high smile line. I want it to be very clean and crisp and clear. So I'm going to bring that right up to a really nice tight smile line. And I know a lot of ladies like to buff their smile lines. I don't feel the need to do that, so I'm just going to use my brush and make sure that I get a nice crisp smile line on my nail. I'm going to add a little more pink right here to this edge. And I'm going to work it up this way. And once I have a really good smile line done, that's when I like to do the rest of the nail bed. I kind of like to get the hard part out of the way. Okay? And that would be my text message. Sorry about that, guy. Once you get your nail bed on, I'm going to go ahead and finish putting on my nail bed. I normally do it in 2 or 3 beads. I put it on, let it settle, flatten up toward the cuticle. Alright, you want to make sure it gets nice and smooth up toward the cuticle, and then just draw it down toward the tip, and that'll smooth it really nicely over the apex of the nail. Then for the cuticle area, my ball is not as big and it might be a little bit drier. I basically place, let it fall, and push up toward the cuticle ever so slightly so that I make sure I have it all the way up to the cuticle, and then pull down. And your ball should land nice and evenly. If you have some spaces that need filling, you just take some extra acrylic, place another bead, set and pull, set and pull. I like to make sure that all of my pink is finished before I work on the tip of this nail. Okay guys, so now I have a nice smooth, pretty nail bed to work with. I'm going to give that a second or two to set up. And as that's setting up, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm going to be using on the tip. I have some clear Diva DC here, and I also have, I have some white glitter. I'm not going to make a mix. I'm basically going to show you guys how I use glitter without having to make a mix or mixing my clear with the glitter and stuff like that. You don't always have to make a mix. I love mixes. I'm all for glitter. But I'm going to show you how to use your glitters without having to put them in a mix. It's fairly simple. So you just take your tip now that it's fairly solid, alright, and it's nice and pretty and smooth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some clear acrylic. I'm going to make my bead just the way I would any other bead. And I'm going to quickly dip into the glitter. And then I'm going to set it on the nail, and I'm going to push upwards into my smile line. Okay. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave a really pretty deep layer of glitter underneath all of that acrylic. And it's going to look like a really pretty glistening type of crystal acrylic. You can even lay the bead upside down. Some people like to put their glitter on top of their acrylic. However you like it. It's all going to come out cute in the end anyway. And since I'm only using the white glitter, you can actually lay down your clear acrylic first if you want. And then cover the nail with that, and then cover it with some glitter. However you want to do it. You don't always have to make a mix though. I like to kind of spread it out in the middle so that it fades down towards the tip. Now I'm going to add some glitter, a little bit more glitter in my arches up here. Because I really want that defined by glitter. My smile line, I want it really heavy right there. A lot of glitter. And if you get some on your pink, just go ahead and reshape. It's fine. Okay? You don't have to be absolutely worried that you're going to get some glitter onto the pink, because it'll definitely wipe right off. Okay? I'm going to get some more up in the corner of this side. Okay, and then it's nice and pretty and blingy. I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but I'll take some really good pictures in the end. I'm just walking you through it really quickly. So I'm going to add a little bit more acrylic and glitter to the mid nail right here. And you don't want to make it too thick, because you are going to cover this. You're going to encapsulate the whole thing in clear, which is another thing that I really like to do whenever I'm doing acrylics. I ultimately, no matter what I do, I encapsulate it in clear. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my clear bead, which I'm not used to this brush. Sorry guys, it's not getting very, that wasn't wet enough. So I'm going to get my first bead right here, and I'm going to spread it right across where the pink meets the clear, and I'm going to drag down really nicely and make sure that those two come together beautifully. That's always where I start when I'm encapsulating, just to make sure that that apex is going to have a really, really nice arch. And then I'll just start at the cuticle, and you only really need a very, very thin layer of clear to bring everything together. So once I do that, and then I go back to the tip of the nail and I place a bead, and I just bring it up toward the round apex of the nail like that. Okay guys, so I'm back and the nail is fully dry. You can tell when you tap it, it's nice and hard and dry. The way I'm going to shape this nail is I'm just going to use a rough grit, and I'm going to hold my finger on the nail so not to cause pressure because it is so long, and I'm going to go up the side wall of the nail, okay, to make my shape. You guys all pretty much know how to shape, but you know, for the new people who don't really know how to shape too well, I'm going to show you how. Okay. So once I have my sidelines very straight, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round off my tip because I like my pointed tips a little round. I don't like them so pointy. So, you don't want this poor bride stabbing her husband in the eyeball and having to go to the emergency room. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round it off. Alright? And then since my shape is good now, the application was nice and smooth, so I really don't have a lot of filing to do, maybe a little buffing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my buffer here to just give it a good, nice, even to make sure it's nice and even. You don't want any lumps or bumps on your bride's nails. Always remember when filing, don't stay in the same spot for any period of time because you will burn your client. There's nothing worse than having your nails done and getting burned. I've had it happen to me and it's unpleasant, especially with a drill. So you want to just make sure that you constantly touch that finger. If it's getting hot, you know that they're going to feel it. So just stop and give it a second. Move on to a different portion of the nail. You know, you don't have to stay in the same part. There's plenty of filing to be done. And usually I would use my hand drill for this, but I want to make it so that you don't have to have a drill in order to do a pretty set of nails. Especially if you're doing them on yourself, take your time. Make sure that you allot yourself a good slot of time to go ahead and get your nail to a good shape and what have you. Then I'm just spraying some alcohol onto a pad. I'm going to wipe it to see if it's nice and smooth and pretty and that it has the shape that I want. And if it's not finished, you should also cover your monomer. If it's not finished or you see any bumps that you don't like, go back in. You know, it doesn't hurt to go in a couple times, make sure that the filing is correct. No one wants lumpy, bumpy nails. Okay? So once you go ahead and you get your curve correct, you want to look at it from every angle. Look at it straight on, look at it from the side, look at it from the client's point of view. You want to make sure that that nail is beautiful in every way. I am such a huge advocate of not sending people away with subpar nails. I'm a perfectionist, which is not good in our industry because if you work in a salon, time is of the essence. You have to learn how to hone your craft quickly. So practice, practice, practice. Practice at home, practice on clients at home, you know, whatever you can do, you know. And for those of you who are afraid to work on other people, don't be afraid. You're not going to kill anybody. Do a skin test. Make sure they're not allergic. You know, keep them clean. It's really not, you know, it's not the end of the world if you apply something incorrectly. It can soak off. Alright, so now I've got it to a good shape that I want it. And I've got, you know, I've got it nice and smooth all the way around. It's a really good application. I'm going to go ahead and apply my top.